Have his way in good soul. Yeah, conference tends to bring out the worst in Mormons. I see this morning and person who's commented before because she's got the gag on her. I think it's supposed to be a mask, but it's not covering her nose. And she's also the one who did those videos. I thought I banned her. YouTube. I did a video a while before conference where Nelson did a Facebook post talking about conference, and he literally spoke about priestcraft in his little Facebook post that I used as the cover photo. And yet Ellie Marie, who I thought I had banned, who does Zumba videos, let me check. Maybe it may be a different person using the same thing. Electric Gavin. Nope, it's her. There's her Zumba. Oh, Ellie, how thou hast fallen from heaven. No, that's right. I did a video hoping to bring her to my channel, and it worked. I brought her to my channel, and she's as horrible of a human being as was realized. Wow. Okay, now she gets banned. Yeah, she's saying that she thinks. Well, that's your first mistake. If you think, you're giving your opinion. Don't think, don't opinionate, don't speculate. Don't guess. Know. If you do not know, then shut your mouth. It's not complicated. We will not what's the word? I had it. Validate. There will be no validation of people's feelings, emotions, and opinions. We will not allow personal beliefs to override truth. And that's what people are doing. I mean, did you guys not understand I'm Mormon, born and raised? I grew up believing in Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon, and then by extension, all the other prophets from Brigham Young, believing that they were a true succession line. Nobody bothered to tell me that upon Joseph Smith's murder, that there were those who didn't want to follow Brigham Young. And when it was eventually revealed to me, they were the wicked ones. They were the ones who didn't believe, were apostates. This is the blindness video that I did, guys. And so, this Ellie, I mean, she goes into extreme that I'm living in the alternate reality. And if you watched that other video I just posted, you realize that she's the one in the alternate reality. She has created a belief system wall around her heart, around the truth, so that truth can't get in. And she doesn't even see it as truth. She's the one who lost a ton of light and understanding, as she falsely accuses me of. And that's sad. I mean, dear God. I mean, did you Mormons honestly think that after all these years, with a near perfect attendance at church, seminary, institute, Rick's College, well, not exactly Rick's College, that's another story. Sacrament or temple, I used to go daily to the temple. watching every conference, etc., etc. And I've come to learn that you don't lose truth. You don't lose a testimony. It's impossible. It's to outright deny what you have witnessed, physically witnessed. That's what denying truth is. And so for Mormons to attack me, to be abusive in their speech, as Ellie is, it's just horrifying. It's unacceptable. That is not Christ-like. And you're not going to get people to say, oh, gee, you're bullying and abusive speech on your Twitter feed or whatever this comment thing is. Oh, you've convinced me of the error of my ways. And I'm going to stop and change my ways and do a different video series called Joining Mormonism 101. I am doing that. Warning, danger, danger, it's a trap. There'll just be little short segments, as much as I want to carry on forever. But yeah, it'll introduce those who don't really know Mormonism. And Mormons don't get this. When we go out to convert the world, we give them a limited amount of information about the church. And then we deny them finding out everything there is to know about the church. We don't want them to go searching on the internet. The church itself provides the core curriculum for members, and members are encouraged to only stick with that curriculum, to not stray to other sources, because if it's true but against the church, not faith promoting, then it's evil. It's not of God if it's true. I mean, don't you want to know if the church is true? Do Mormons not want to know? You were born and raised in it, so you've taken it for granted. I wanted to know. I was Mormon just like you guys. Why didn't you want to know? Or did you think that all you had to do was get on your knees and pray? And keep praying until you get a warm, fuzzy feeling in your heart. And then assume that assumptive leap that means the church is true. Now, what part of the church is true? There's a whole huge aspect of it. Is it Joseph Smith's church? Is it his first vision? Is it the Book of Mormon? Is it some of the doctrines? All of the doctrines? Which part is true? Oh, it's all. Yeah, oh, wow, that is very easy, isn't it? You just get on your knees and pray. Yep, it's like coming home from a date after rolling in the hay, covered in her perfume, and then you go and pray, is she the one to marry? And all you got on your mind is her perfume and the memories of rolling in the hay. What kind of an answer and warm, fuzzy feeling do you think you're going to get? Of course, if she lets you roll in the hay, she is the one. As long as she doesn't change after she chains you to her For all eternity. Ha ha ha, I've got you, my pretty. Holding out for a hero. Shrek 2. And so, I just, did you guys honestly think that my watching Conference, as I did, I watched Conference, you saw the clips, had it in the background, and there was moments where I was going, oh, wait a minute, I need to follow his words out before I speak. Did you guys honestly think that by listening to Conference, my heart was going to magically melt and remember how the church was true and how wrong I am and how I need to repent and come back begging and pleading to Bishop Cummins now, saying, please take me back, I'm so sorry, I'll do anything, I'll be your slave? Is that what you want? Is that how you think it's supposed to be for people like me? That we need to come all in ashes and blood-stained streets? It has been written that those who hold the youth hold the future. I mean, seriously, guys? I mean, dear God. And keep you away from people in society. I mean, do you have people locked up in your basement that you do this to? Rubs the lotion on the skin. Does this whenever it's told. Oh my God. I mean, maybe Mormons need to start watching R-rated movies. Maybe that would help you realize what you are doing is wrong. It may be too late now. Now you might say, oh yeah, Hannibal Lecter, he was a good guy. He was misunderstood. Why couldn't that woman in the well just conform and comply? All she had to do was put the lotion on. Oh my God, the horror. Please tell me that's not what you think. I mean, dear God. I mean, do you not want to know that the church is true? Do you not want the correct understanding of our gospel? The correct understanding of Mormonism? Do you not even read the Book of Mormon, and when it says, hey, the great and abominable church does these list of things, that when the church is doing them, you can't make the connection? Oh, well, the church is not titled the Great and Abominable Church, Travis. It's got the name of Jesus in it. It's Jesus' church because it has Jesus' name in the title. Seriously? Have you not heard of wolves in sheep's clothing? I mean, this is horrifying, Mormons. And so yes, I'm going to be doing a Joining Mormonism 101. I tried to invite you to the wedding feast and you refused and rejected it. And you slaughtered the messenger. So now I gotta go to the streets to see who won't come to the wedding feast. Because Mormons don't care. You put your trust and faith in those prophets. As Oaks literally spoke white supremacy. And if you don't see the white supremacy in Oaks, then I bet you didn't see it in Trump's first debate. SNL was too soft on him. But I'm glad Jim Baldwin, whichever brother it is, I'm glad he was back. I thought he wasn't coming back. So, good to see him again. Jim Carrey is Biden. This, I guess, is the pre-show, but I just, the abuse and the hatred. I mean, it astounds me how you think you can get away with it, because the leaders get away with it. I mean, the way you treat people, you categorize those with color or those who you want to hate with a label. That's your little category box for them. And so everything they do has to be interpreted by that box you've created for them. So if they're nice to you, you're suspicious of them. If they give you a gift, you wonder if they want something from you. And that's just a simple part of it. When you become a leader, then you start enacting laws, discriminating, punishing, so that when they protest, when they speak out, you then call them terrorists, so that you can justify further abuse and punishment and discrimination. And the cycle of abuse just continues as you purposely cause escalation because you think you're in the position of power. You know, only Gong got the virus. And so it didn't really happen on the first day, but neither did the deaths of the 3 apostles after the 3rd of the tetrad. It was between the 3rd and the 4th tetrad, which was a period of about 6 months, in which all 3 then died. For this one, this sign occurred on the Jewish holy day of Sukkot. It's a 7-day holiday. So next Friday is the final last day. And according to the pattern of things, this is the time frame. And as it does appear, those in positions of leadership get the virus. So that seems to be what it will be, as we've been given the warnings already, as Trump has already gone down. But that still doesn't collapse everything. So I'm still wondering what awaits and how it will happen. But it's coming. And it's not my opinion. I've been doing this for years, trying to get Mormons to understand. And you just won't. You refuse. The prophets have abandoned you. And yet they keep getting up there and playing you for fools, and you keep letting them. Oh, yay! Okay, I'm scum and I need to pay more money. I mean, did you not understand that? I gave the pregame show. And guess what they talked about in their talks? Exactly what I warned you about in my pregame show. I mean, it was weird. I was going, oh, there's that one. Oh, there's that one. Bingo! Unbelievable. So I don't know why you want to be bullies. I don't know why you think you have to go out of your way to come to my channel to give me one more extra view just because you're offended and you're going to teach me a lesson. You're going to tell me what's what. You have no clue who I am. Not even that you pacer who threatened my life because he had placed me in a box, that I'm the threat. So, and that was all because he believed what my parents told him to believe. It's sickening. When you believe liars, you get yourself in trouble. You become their puppet. As they say, hey, well, I don't know. It's on him. He did it. Not us. That's what Herbert's done to you guys. How many of you got fooled by the Russian propaganda that we didn't need to wear masks during a pandemic? We have the videos. We know your faces. We know who you are. And you're Mormon. You got played by Putin. And now look what happened to your kids as you sent them back to school. Herbert's given up on us. He refuses to shut down Utah. Money is more important to him than your lives. Literally. If he was concerned about your lives, we would have never opened until it passed over. The 1st would have come and gone. The 15th come and gone. School come and gone. They would have tried to figure out, how do we get computer systems in every kid's home so that they can be taught from home, so that they can stay home and stay safe. Remember that slogan? Yeah. Now he extorts businesses. If you guys want to stay open, you've got to stay safe. Oh, and how do we stay safe? By not being open. It's just like all the commercials. They say, oh, save thousands on a new car, save hundreds. You can save a lot of money on this brand new product that we're selling over the TV. The best and most money that you can save is not to buy the product. Utah has had a number of incidences where people have died because they've performed risky activities. Climbing mountains, jumping off bridges, and all sorts of other stunts. And their lives are over with. Or if they did survive, they're a paraplegic. The best way to stay safe is to avoid risky actions. Now, there are situations such as people who need to rescue others, who get lost in the mountains, or who are wounded, or car accidents, fires, where first responders need to go into danger, risking their lives to save others. That's different. Those situations you can have controlled testing, training. You can have the tools and equipment necessary. But, I mean, to risk your life just for a thrill, dear God. How little you care about your own life and the lives of those who love you. Also that you can risk your life to get that thrill. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the Joining Mormonism 101 and do it in little minute or 2 minute segments. I have too much that needs to be said. Too much that you guys just don't care. So, I don't know what else to say, I guess. I already said the parts that I had written down on notes. So on the main YouTube page, they have recommended the Con Air end sequence, and I'm already wanting to cry because it's got his wife there smiling at the end when they're in Vegas reuniting after he was locked up for 6 years. John Penny knew me in Canada. We went to Institute together. We had Tom Robinson's Greek class. I recommended John to Thomas Robinson, who came to me saying, "Hey, do you want to program the CD-ROM for my new Greek language book, Mastering Greek?" I told him I had graduated and was already making plans to move to Utah because my parents said that it was going to be a wonderful life. Little did I know they were trapping me so that my wife at that time could abandon me and dump me off with my parents. But he came to BYU after Stephanie abandoned me, had not yet divorced me, but he came to BYU and called me up and went out to go spend some time with him, see his little boy, and be reminded of how I tried to have Stephanie hang out with John's wife rather than the husband hater bashers that she did hang out with instead. The leader of the group's husband committing suicide, and they just chalked it up to mental illness, refused to do an investigation into her abuse. But he took me to see Con Air, and because of the horrific rumors that were being spread, he had to ask, "Is it okay if we see this movie?" Because it's rated R. They've got Nazi muffins who are gagged and bagged. But 6 years he was wrongfully arrested just because he was defending his wife and his life. He was ganged up on and they were going to kill him. And the judge said, "Well, it doesn't matter how many people there were. You're a Marine," or whatever whatever unit he was in. "And so therefore you're held to a higher standard. 6 years. God." And then Oakes has the audacity to say, "Take it to court," rather than protest. Really pisses me off. And so, yeah, he finally gets to go home, but he has to go on Con Air. What is it, Galen? Is that the guy's name? But, yeah, his friend, cellmate, goes along also as he's getting transferred. And his insulin is damaged so that he can't get his shot. And says, "There is no God." "I will show you there is a God." And sure enough, he gives his daughter the bunny. And I break down and cry every time now. How do I live? At the end of that movie, I then asked John, "Do you see what I'm talking about now?" He didn't. And yet I knew. I knew. If the church has to be abusive, it's not true. If they can't love people, it's not true. And it's not love when you punish people because they aren't wanting to join. Or when they find, oh, Joseph had rocks in his hat. You don't attack people because they find out about that information. You don't call that information fake news. That's what the church has been doing. And then too many people found out, and so they had no choice. And so instead of 2 rocks, 1 rock. And it's a nice, shiny, polished rock. They couldn't even come out with the full truth. They still have to perpetuate the lies. They even manufactured the lies. I mean, do you guys even understand that when the church says, yeah, Joseph Smith was a polygamist, so what? Do you understand that the church is also claiming that Joseph Smith raped a 14-year-old girl? Oh, yeah, so what? Really? You see, it's that kind of blindness in Mormons that is a threat. They just don't see criminal behavior when it's in them, when it's with the church. Dear God. And so, yeah, you're all for forcing women to have babies all by themselves, but then forcing them to give them up for adoption. The guys destroy the woman's life, and then you're okay with continually punishing her for the rest of her life. And you don't see the problem with that. You don't see the problem about how you enslave blacks, immigrants, Hispanics, the poor, disabled, elderly, single mothers. You don't see a problem as you blame them. Just pull yourselves up by your own bootstraps. See how my daddy paid for my life? Why can't you do it? By hard work, getting a job at McDonald's flipping burgers. I mean, the abuse, my God. Oh, yeah, he was resisting arrest, so despite his being unarmed and children in the car calling out daddy, it's okay for a cop to shoot him in the back 7 times. Because I'm sure he deserved it. He must have done something wrong in his life to deserve it. And then you complain when people protest. And then you think it's okay to go down there with your guns to help the cops. Restore order. Law and order. How dare people protest? Whatever police officers do is not a crime. Whatever the government leaders do is not a crime. Whatever the Nelson does is not a crime. Dear God, you just play us for fools. Bullying us. Abusing us. Trying to subjugate us to your will. Declaring war against us. And for the most part, people are weak, and they cower before you. And then there's me. One of you. I know what you think. I know what you feel. I grew up among you. Not here in Utah, but the conservatives down in Southern California. My parents made sure to be in the white suburban neighborhoods where the Rush Limbaughs and Sean Hannitys were promoting the hate on the radio. I mean, I literally heard all the slogans. If she's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to breed. Just get her drunk. Blame it on the alcohol. I'm going to be a gynecologist so that I can see women naked. Just need to round up all those gays, put them on an airplane, and dump them out on an island out in the Pacific, and then use it as a nuclear test site. This is what children, my peers, were telling me. Guy comes into the art class and talks about his most recent conquest of a little freshman girl who he raped. And that was the horror of growing up. And I never want to go back to that life. But I knew I didn't want to grow up either. I knew the horror that awaited. But to see it among Mormons, the same hate, dear God. But they keep it a secret. The guys don't tell about their conquests. They keep it a secret as they brutalize the women, gang rape them. All the rape kits just piled up. Now they've gotten to them. Oh, but statute of limitations ran out. Too bad, so sad. So much for taking it to court, huh, Oaks? It can't be criminal court. No prosecutor would take their case. So she has to go to civil court. With what money to get a lawyer who can help her? So she has to do it herself as a pro se litigant. Wonder how successful she'll be. When the scriptures talk about the end of wickedness, it's talking about the end of bullies. And Mormons don't see that. They say, yeah, we're going to conquer women, conquer the poor, conquer blacks, conquer the gays. They don't realize, no guys, it's you. You're going to be conquered. No more are you going to oppress and bully and suppress the abused, the discriminated groups. No more will YouTube Mormon employees slow down the processing of my videos. No more will Facebook sell our data to Russia. You guys are just puppets. And they don't support you when you get arrested. So you have to push, but you can't push too far. Because if you go too far, they come after you. Bad boys, what you gonna do? You're angry. I'm not angry. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. You're saying I'm angry is making me angry. He perfectly summed up in a comedy skit what I've been trying to warn you about with psychiatry. They place you in categories, just like bullies do, just like you guys have been puppet trained to do. Just like that Ellie, or whatever her name was. You think you're going to be exalted, and yet you have no idea. You're not even close to getting exalted. The symbol of the church is the inverted pentagram, and you are in denial. That's how much they've brainwashed you. Okay, that's it for today. I may not be getting to joining Mormonism 101 for a while, which means I may never get to it. We'll see. I see the con that they're pulling on you, and I'm trying to warn you, and you don't see it. You think they're the greatest since sliced bread. You see, kids, in my day,